I'm Rosh from Energy Matters. Welcome to our podcast, Road to Zero, where we dive headfirst into all things renewable. Join us as we chat with industry experts, tech specialists, and some of your favourite TV and radio personalities, asking the renewable energy questions you want answers to. Our goal, a zero carbon future. Today, I am absolutely delighted to be joined by Emma Hall, the event director for Terrapinn, who are staging this year's and the upcoming Solar and Storage Live Australia 2024 event in Brisbane. Hello, Emma. How are you?
Hey, Roshan. I'm good. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. Thank you for joining me today. I do appreciate it.
No worries at all. Excited to be here.
Oh, you're a legend. Emma, before we get stuck into the Solar and Storage Live Australia event in Brizzy, I'm keen to know a bit more about you. I'm familiar with who you are. You've been around the traps for some time now in our industry. Can you just let the audience who don't know you know a little bit more about your background today?
Yeah, of course. So previously, I've been with the Clean Energy Council and the Smart Energy Council, both industry bodies supporting small and scale renewable projects within Australia and member organisations. And I've recently moved to Terrapinn to work on the Solar and Storage Live event. Again, it gives a different perspective to industry and investment into Australia, and particularly, in Queensland with such a large investment there. So, I'm really excited to be bringing this event into Queensland and into Australia as part of a global series.
That's absolutely fantastic. If I can ask you, obviously, I know John and Kane reasonably well, both great guys. What had you transition to Terrapinn? Was it more, just being able to actually be more creative? What was the driver?
Yeah, look, I think for me, it's that global background of the event. So, last month, 35,000 people attended the event in Africa. Almost 20,000 people attend in Birmingham, with that event happening in September later this year. So, having that ability to bring such a large event to Australia, be part of a global chain, and really make a difference in Australia through the brand of Solar and Storage Live is something that I'm really excited about, and something that I jumped at the chance to work on.
That's absolutely fantastic. I did take a look before this, and I think that's probably the first thing that really hit me was, this isn't just an event that's taking place in Brisbane. This is an event that's taken place all around the world. I've seen clips from different events that are either been staged or being staged, and have been attended, and they look absolutely fantastic. Can you just let anyone? This event's taking place very soon. In fact, in a couple of weeks' time, on the 1st and 2nd of May in Brizzy. How does this event differ from other industry events that we would have attended, like All Energy, Energy Next, Smart Energy, the Smart Energy Conference?
Sure. I think what truly sets us apart is a dedication to providing tailored experiences for the sector and industry. So, dedicated streams of conferencing for installers, specialised tracks around commercial and industrial applications, and also focusing on end users as well. So, a lot of industry events, we don't focus on the end user, and that's something that really sets us apart, I think, with this event.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. And look, it looks like it's going to be a huge event. I wasn't too sure when I first heard about it. I thought Brisbane, I love Brisbane. I used to live in the Gold Coast myself, and I will be back there again at some point. So I wasn't too sure how much scope there'd be. But just looking at what you guys have shown already online, it looks phenomenal. How many exhibitors will there be?
Yeah, so I guess we've really hit the ground running with our inaugural event. So we've got over 100 exhibitors and sponsors, and industry titans like Tesla, Jinko, Canadian Solar, trusted partners like Origin, AGL, supply partners. And also the exhibitor lineup has distribution representing powerhouse brands such as Longi, Sungrow, Trina, and REC. So lots of heavyweights on board for year one. And we know that, when those who have maybe been a little bit skeptical about year one see the show in action, we have no doubt, with 40% already being sold for 2025, that we will sell out for 2025 as well. And it will just start to gather traction and be as big as those British and African shows.
which is absolutely fantastic. And to be fair, although I did make a point of Brisbane just now, I mean, the majority of the events are generally hosted in either Sydney or Melbourne. So I think as a Queenslander and as a business owner, there's a lot of solar power retailers and people in the industry in Queensland that to come to Melbourne is, it's an expensive trip. There's a lot of obviously, carbon use for that travel in the first place. So it's really refreshing to actually be able to have this be hosted in Brisbane, which then just captures that sort of further up the eastern seaboard. So I think it's brilliant that you actually are doing the event in Brisbane. Kudos to you guys. I mean, you've already listed a few of the brands that I love that we work with ourselves. And I know these guys, every time I've seen one of these exhibitions and gone to one of the conferences, their exhibition stands are just mind-blowing. I mean, the creativity is fantastic. Have you seen some of the stands and some of the other exhibitors, what they're going to be sort of displaying for the attendees?
Look, we've got a scope of variations in stands, everything from our small startup zone, which is powered by Energy Lab and will feature a pitch fest, all the way through to social media zones where you can participate and win some great prizes. We've also got some big announcements that we can't sort of let you know here. You'll have to register and come along. Lots of coffee and, all the usual things. But, as you would have seen at many other events, this industry, they go hard or they go home and they really bring their A games. So, lots in store for the delegates who register. And of course, it's free to register and attend. So there's, no need, to worry about asking your boss for, some professional development. You can just come along and, really, be part of something big that's going to continue year on year.
Which is absolutely amazing. And look, you've touched on the fact that it's free to attend. And it absolutely blows my mind, when I look at these events and the scope and the people that are involved, and even from a speaker perspective from presenting, because really you'd pay thousands of dollars to go to an event where you'd hear this caliber of a person on stage educating you and really informing you of what's sort of happening in the industry, how you can be more actively involved. And the fact that this is actually free to attend is absolutely fantastic. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about some of the presenters that you've got at this particular conference and what themes will be covered?
Yeah, of course. So, we've got the likes of David Shanky, we've got MP Ted O'Brien. So obviously we want to hear from all political persuasions and look at, have a broad conversation and collaborate to get to net zero. We've got Adam Lees, we've got the Honourable MP Lily D'Ambrosia, Tim Buckley, Climate Energy Finance. We've got Heather Holmes, who is Mayor of the City of Mitcham. So it's a really broad sector of speakers that will give the conversation a little bit of oomph. So it's not just who's currently in power and who's pushing through the legislation, but it's about having those conversations to make sure that the legislation is coming up and there's really collaborative conversations to make sure that it's the right fit for the country and it's the right fit for the industry, and that installers fundamentally are benefiting from what is being spoken about. And that's why we have our installer university where you can gather CPD points. We know SAA have recently been awarded the accreditation program, and the transition is completed on the 29th of May. So we're offering this installer university for any installers to come along for free, get their CPD points to make sure they're transitioned, and we can continue the momentum of getting solar onto roofs and commercial businesses, and really just push that the drive to net zero,
which is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. And really, you obviously spoke about the installer university, and I know these type of events are really focused towards the industry. So it's more about the industry getting educated and trained, and really understanding more about what's happening right now, what's happening next, as well as getting skilled up, with the latest advancements. So, based on that, I mean, who should be attending Solar and Storage Live? I mean, and what value and tips would they get from attending?
Yeah, of course. So I think it's a broad range of people that should be attending. So it's government bodies, again, those departments within government that really need to hear from the people on the ground within industry. Agricultural sector, we think about farming. Where are we putting solar farms? How are we working with the farming sector? Installers, of course, we want them to be accredited and make sure that the best installers are out there doing their thing. Retailers, so whether it's a mum and dad retailer or an AGL or an Origin. End users, Coles, IKEA, Officeworks, all on the program and all really important. Also, anyone who's interested in the sustainability of Australia's future. Let's not forget we're an island, we're surrounded by islands, some of which are going underwater. And so what can we do as a main island to help, the South Pacific and really get the message out there so that governments do make these changes and we do support our neighbours as well. Anyone who wants to hear about those sorts of things, anyone who's interested in EVs and EV charging, batteries, they're the people that need to come to this show, and they're the ones who are going to get the maximum benefit out of being there.
It's absolutely incredible. And I mean, what I always find, and every single one of these events that I attend, although we have our goal of a zero carbon future, like zero carbon from emissions, and we're 100% behind 100% renewable, a lot of people don't believe that they can make a difference, that, okay, my home's not suitable for solar power, or it's an old home, and it's going to cost me so much to renovate or to rebuild my property, which is fair enough, right? But I think, what these events show you is there's, no matter how big, it's all the small things. And those small things, those small changes, those small choices about improving your, reducing your carbon footprint, about, replacing one thing that's, sort of inefficient to that is efficient. There's a lot of little things that anyone can do, and all those little things accumulated result in a very large carbon reduction, as well as reduction in energy bills. So I think everyone, for me, it's always proven to be a source of inspiration. There's always something that I wasn't aware of. And especially with the advancement in technology and the pace now it's advancing, it's absolutely phenomenal. So absolutely, look, I would always encourage everybody, if you're around Brizzy, or you're going to be in Brizzy, or in the Gold Coast or Sunshine Coast or anywhere around Queensland, definitely attend, because it will open your eyes. And once again, just having it being staged in Queensland just opens, it provides an opportunity that ordinarily would not be there. So definitely worth doing it. You've chosen to use the Brisbane Convention and Exhibition Centre, which is a fantastic, setup. I mean, why did you choose that? Is it just because of the space, or was there more of a carbon, sort of some sustainability or carbon reduction elements in play?
Yeah, look, I think, if fundamentally to run a show of this scale, you want to use a venue that is big enough to be able to house some of these big exhibitors. And so, that's why we obviously want to use that venue. But also, speaking with the team at BCEC, they have a great sustainability program there as well. And, that's really important to make sure that they're looking at how they look after waste and, all the things that they do day to day to make that centre more sustainable. They tick all of those boxes. And then, of course, with ourselves, it's making sure that what do? We, try and digitalize everything as much as possible. So we have an amazing app that delegates and exhibitors can use. We use recyclable fabrics for our lanyards. We reuse carpet tiles and only use carpet tiles where necessary. We don't use plastic within the venue. And we're also a proud member of ISLA as well. So we're working with Terrapinn globally to build more sustainable events. And so BCEC have really worked with us to make sure that we can deliver that. So, it's great for size, but it's great for sustainability as well.
No, that's absolutely fantastic. Look, I'm blown away with the event. It's gonna be amazing. So I'm hoping to come up myself in a couple of weeks' time, and and attend in person. And at the same token, I think it's just going to be once again, just a really, really interesting and inspiring opportunity to immerse myself with knowledge and be blown away by the advancements in tech. So it sounds incredible. Is there any last thoughts that you'd like to impart on our audience to have them attend?
Look, I think, a couple of things I would like to highlight, going back to Queensland in general, is just the speed of growth. Like, obviously, Minister de Brenni is, really charging along. But, Brisbane is going to host the 2032 Olympics. The opportunity for investment and for work in the Sunshine State is phenomenal. It is Australia's most solar-friendly state. There's a $19 billion investment there, and it's home to Australia's largest operational solar farm. And that is why we've, chosen fundamentally to have this event in Queensland, because we know they're driving change day in, day out. And you only have to look at the socials to see from the Premier and the Minister of the work that they're doing. And it really gives Solar and Storage Live a home base in Australia that we can really capitalise with what's going on in the state, and really get the best of the best to the event, so that anyone attending gets maximum bang for their buck, and they, even though it's free. So
absolutely. So are you telling me this will be staged in Queensland every year moving forward? Is that the plan?
So we've already locked in 2025. So we're locked in for March 26, 27, 2025. And obviously, the plan is to keep the show in Queensland and really drive a great partnership with the Queensland government.
That's brilliant. Okay, I'm really happy to know that, because we are from the Gold Coast. Well, we're living on the Gold Coast, with the exception of the last 8 years now in Melbourne, but we will be moving back there in a few years' time. So I've always wondered to myself, what's my home event going to be? And this is going to be the one. So I'm very happy with that. How's the rest of the calendar looking for you guys? So I know you are staging events around the world. It looks like a fairly active calendar for Terrapinn for 2024.
Yeah, so other than Solar and Storage Live in this industry, which is next March, if you can't wait until then, we do have the Mobility Live show on the 30th and 31st of October, and that's being held at MCEC, so Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. And again, that's all around electric vehicles, charging infrastructure, fleet management, transportation innovation. So another really great platform to showcase renewables within Australia.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, look, Emma, it sounds fantastic. For anyone watching today, look, even if you're not based in Queensland, if you fancy a nice week, a few days in the sunny state, work in your tan, it's getting a bit cold here in Melbourne, then just click the link on this podcast, which is terrapinn.com/exhibition/Solar Storage Live Australia, or just Google Solar Storage Live Australia 2024 Brisbane, and it'll pop up. We'll also share the link in all the platforms that we sort of publish the podcast. And at the same token, it's silly not to. If you're in Queensland, if Southeast Queensland, then attend. It's completely free of charge, and you're going to get so well educated and really inspired by what's happening in our industry. It'll be worth a few hours. If you're an employer, send your team down there. Make a team building exercise. But Emma, thank you so much for your time today. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Roshan. Thanks for the opportunity, and we hope to see as many of you as we can in Queensland on the 1st and 2nd of May. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. So, guys, you heard it here first. It's going to be an absolutely incredible event, Solar and Storage Live 2024, being hosted in Brisbane on the 1st and 2nd of May. Definitely attend if you're able to. It'll be fantastic. Before we finish up, if you have yet to go solar power, or kind of been sitting on the fence thinking, should I, shouldn't I? There has never been a better time to go solar. Jump on our website, energymatters.com.au. I'll click /free solar quotes, or just go onto the Energy Matters website, and you'll be able to see ways of getting up to free quotes to explore solar power and determine if it's for you. And please feel free to follow us on our YouTube, as well as check us out on all our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But for now, have a fantastic rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you in Brisbane on the 1st and 2nd of May for Solar Storage Live Australia 2024. Thank you, and all the best.